Welcome to the Big Biz Show, featuring insight, analysis, and a lot of stuff that's none of your business.
Hold on. This is the Big Biz Show. I think it is their business.
Making the markets work for you. Here's the man with the plan, Sully.
From the Loft 100 Studios in beautiful, sunny Southern California, it is the Big Biz Show. Costa and Mary Burt-Godwin.
Hey.
This show is actually called Nunya when it's just us two hosting, Sully.
Nunya business with Mike and Mary.
We'll be back behind the bar our next show. He's off. Where? Merry Old England, right?
Yeah, Merry Old England. He's across the pond.
Like that? Something
He's
very
checking
cool.
out a baseball game.
That's what
What is it? The Phillies.
Phillies in something we're playing, but yeah, he was over there. He's over there checking that out. Joining us right now, though, he is the man we go to for all good hair and financial advice. Our man Howie Font back with us here on the Big Biz Show. Howard, how you doing, my friend? What's new?
Howard.
Hello, hello. Good to see you guys. I like this. I like this setup.
It's you know what? It's again. Sometimes you just gotta pull the command decision and say, Nunya needs to come back on the air on the Big Biz platform, and here we are today.
We have a lot of fun.
Yeah. What pearls of wisdom do you have for us as far as our shekels are concerned?
Sure. So, now that Big Money Sully's out of here, I thought we could talk about.
Can we talk small money for me?
Yeah, talk about us. Little money.
Yeah, it is important to talk about small money. Emergency funds. So I know there's a new article every year that comes out, but we just got a report from a study done in February of this year, so February 2024, that said 1 in 5, 20% of Americans have no emergency fund at all. 30% have a little less than 3 months savings, and that's usually about right. About a little less than half have almost nothing. So if you think about that, that's one car accident, that's one month of lost job, rent that you have to pay off. So it's not much of a stopgap. And we're also seeing credit card delinquencies rising. So just not a good sign. And I'd recommend to people, if they are going out and living the life, if you don't have 3 to 6 months emergency fund saved, let's live a little bit quieter and watch the Nunya show while you build that up.
I have to say that I'm not the best person to listen to because I got Nunya savings. So talk to me about what's the first place to stop. It's like, okay, don't have your Starbucks or whatever, but I need something more concrete on what the best way is to start saving for those things.
Well, listen, I would say that you can hang by your thumbs for a month. So if it's temporary, it's possible, is the guideline here. You have to be a little, by definition, less spendy. So yeah, $4 coffees, $5, $6 coffee. I've seen these things get up to $15 for what is a coffee and a milkshake combined, and
Yeah,
it's cold
ridiculous.
and hot. I don't know. That's not my bag, but yeah, that's it. That kind of stuff has to go. Usually I recommend, simpler meals for a month and not going out. Invite some friends, into the house. Cut off some of the streaming subscriptions you're not using.
It's so true.
I mean,
That's a big one for me, is the streaming service.
Our Big Biz Show market analyst Howie Font with us here. Howie, we got, I don't know, about a minute left or so. Is it a mistake to think, well, I do have 6 months of, emergency money. I've got a credit card that I haven't maxed out yet. Are you talking accessible cash in a bank account, or maybe even a shoebox underneath your mattress?
Well, it can be in a high yield savings account. So
Okay.
it can be under your mattress if that makes you feel good, Mike. Or if you just like laying on it like you're the princess with the pea, that whole story. Except
makes me
instead of
feel
a
good.
pea, I need 20 grand.
Pretty much.
But yeah, I don't care how that goes, but 3 months to 6 months savings, then to start to pay off debt, then we can start to have the investment conversation. Do it, people.
H, always
Okay.
appreciate the time. Always appreciate the wisdom. Thank you so much. That's our Big Biz Show market analyst, Howie Font. We talked about where Sully is right now. Video proof why we slave away here under the hot lights.
There it is.
Look at that right there in London.
Taking care of business.
Welcome to the Big Biz Show, featuring insight, analysis, and a lot of stuff that's none of your business.
Hold on. This is the Big Biz Show. I think it is their business.
Making the markets work for you. Here's the man with the plan, Sully.
Well, the man with the plan is not here. There are some days where you just, as we said, you just got to lock the door and not let him in.
That's today.
The animals are running the asylum.
He did not get let in. On a timeout.
Costa Mary Burt-Godwin with you, wherever you're watching and listening. Thanks for being along for the ride here in the Loft 100 studios. We talk about this often. You know, I always refer to my zombie apocalypse squad.
Yes.
Like, who are my ride or die guys?
Yeah.
Like, obviously, the DTC, Day Trader Quattro, trio.
Ride or die right
would
there.
obviously be in my zombie apocalypse squad, because we'd want tunes, right? As the world's coming to an end.
Yeah, true.
Exactly.
True.
But a lot of people aren't prepared. Talking seriously, they're not prepared.
I am one of those people.
When the proverbial S hits the fan.
I am not prepared, Mike.
Okay, and
So I'm very much looking forward to our next guest.
That's right, and that's why we have, he is the Vice President of Sales for My Patriot Supply, Mr. Joe Rieck, back with us here on the Big Biz Show. Joe, my friend, it's always great to catch up with you. How you been?
I'm doing great. Hey, can I be included in like your zombie apocalypse gang? Because I think I can bring some valuable information for you, and at least some tools and some cool tricks and whatnot.
Well, that's, to be honest with you, that's a given, because I don't want to pay for any of the food or all the gadgets and toys. So yeah, you are automatically
you must be in our squad here.
Hey Joe, for those of you who are just joining us, because our audience changes and grows all the time, kind of give us the history on how long My Patriot Supply has been around.
So My Patriot Supply has been around for about 15 years, and we actually got started selling survival seeds. So these are the heirloom seeds that people would keep, and if there ever was a major disaster, they would be able to plant a garden and be able to get fruits and vegetables fairly quickly to help supplement some of their needs. And from there on, we just kind of started dabbling in more emergency preparedness items. And right now we are the largest direct-to-consumer emergency preparedness company in the country. Dare I say the world, because there's not a lot of places outside of the United States that really practice emergency preparedness or self-sufficiency like we do here in the United States. And, earlier you were talking about how many people are really prepared. This is something that we talked about, a couple of times when I've been on the show, and you'd be very surprised at how many people are not prepared. And as mainstream and as popular as emergency preparedness has come over the past, decade, there's still a lot of people who don't know how to get started, who don't know what to do to get prepared. They don't know what to do in the event of a natural disaster or a global pandemic, or heck, even if there's an attack on our power grid and our infrastructure, they just don't know what to do.
Okay, Joe, I'm one of those people.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry to cut you off, but I was just going to say, I'm one of those people, and I've actually spoken to you before on the show, and you'd think that between then and now I would have acted, and I didn't. I'm going to blame my ADHD. But I think that part of it is my fear of thinking about those things, like, something happens to our power grid or a natural disaster or whatever it may be. So I don't even want to plan for it, because it creates fear and anxiety in me. So can you tell me, someone who's new to this, and I really need to be, because I have teenage daughters and I live alone. I mean, I'm a single mom. So, and I wouldn't know what to do with those seeds, because I don't know what to do around a garden. So tell, somebody like me, break it down.
Would you just eat them right out of the bag like
yeah, probably. It would grow in my belly. I don't know what would happen, but can you break it down for someone like me?
Start sprouting from your ears. Yeah. So, it is very interesting. And what's nice too is the technology when it comes to emergency food has really progressed over the past decade. Now we have meals that you don't have to worry about planting a garden. You don't have to worry about having a green thumb or knowing what to do to get those vines to grow. If you know how to boil water, you can prepare any one of our meals. And these meals, they taste delicious. These are meals like pasta Alfredo, chili macaroni, spaghetti, creamy chicken pasta. These are meals that we eat on a regular basis that have up to a 25-year shelf life.
Whoa.
So this is something that you get, you put it away, and it'll be there when you need it. The only thing that you need to do is make sure that you have clean water, which we provide a way to teach people how to get clean water. We have different items like the Alexa Pure Pro sitting right behind me, that stainless steel unit that can filter out any type of water. So if you live next to a lake, a river, a stream, or a pond, or heck, even the water in your water heater in your home, you can filter that water and have clean, potable water. So then you can boil it and then you can get your meals prepared. But I think one of the things that a lot of people, like you mentioned, they just don't know where to get started or even how to do it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you that there is a lot of power in being self-sufficient. By knowing that you have a plan, you have the confidence, and most importantly, you have the peace of mind of knowing that you can still provide for your family in any type of a situation. And that feeling, honestly, for a lack of a better word, it's priceless. Because now you can feel confident to go through any types of disasters, whether that's an earthquake or a global pandemic, or even if the grid were to be shut down. But having a plan and executing that plan is one of the things that we teach here at My Patriot Supply to everybody. In fact, I encourage your viewers to give us a call. If you don't know what to do, don't know how to get started, give us a call here at My Patriot Supply. We have customer service reps and preparedness specialists 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, in order to answer your questions and help you get the plan, understand the needs of your family so you can feel prepared and know that you can have that confidence that you can still take care of your family in any type of situation.
Joe Rieck is the Vice President of Marketing for My Patriot Supply. Everything you need to know right there at mypatriotsupply.com. Joe, as far as the food is concerned, do you need any sort of special storage? Does it have to be in an underground bunker, in an attic? What's the storage situation supposed to be like for you?
You know, that's a great question, and we get that question often. You know, with any type of food supply, you want to store indoors, ambient room temperature. You know, I would never suggest to store long-term emergency food in a hot garage or a hot attic, because the heat is detrimental to the long shelf life of the food. But
Sure.
store it inside of your home. We have a lot of customers who will store it underneath their bed. They'll put it in a closet. They'll put it, you know, behind their clothes in a closet or up on the shelves. But having a quick access to it is also going to be important as well. But again, keep it indoors, ambient room temperature. And if you were to do that, you can get up to a 25-year shelf life with this product.
Wow. And you know, Joe, you mentioned having a plan, or that your representatives can talk to us about a plan. So that makes me feel at ease, because I'm also thinking the anxiety of like having to buy everything at one time and having to do it all. It's like a little overwhelming. So I could call somebody and they would talk me through, maybe this month I invest in this portion and I kind of grow all the things I need over a certain amount of time and not be spending all the money up front.
Absolutely. Have a plan, you know, and again, with emergency preparedness, it's not a destination, but it is a journey. You know, we have customers that will call us up every single month and say, hey, look, I need to add a little bit more here. I'm going to add a little bit more there. And they'll even ask questions. Hey, what am I going to do if I don't have any power? And of course, we have the solutions available for you with our Grid Doctor solar power generators. It's this big unit sitting behind me. So if you ever needed to power your refrigerator in the event of a power outage, you can still save the food that's inside of your refrigerator. It's
Wow.
amazing. It's an amazing little unit right now. It's some of the best technology in solar powered generators. One of the cool things about the Grid Doctor items is that it has pass-through technology. So what that means is you could actually be using the machine and charging it up at the exact same time. So now you can have enough power to be able to power that refrigerator through the night. You know, if you are relying on a medical device like a CPAP machine, now you can have the confidence to be able to still use those medical devices in the event of a power outage. So it's little things like that that customers, you know, need to understand and need to learn that there are different solutions out there. And the biggest thing, if I could leave with you or you and your audience, is not to feel overwhelmed. You know, there are a lot of different things out there, but don't feel overwhelmed. You know, we can start small. We can start something very, very simple. We have packages that'll provide 72 hours worth of food for each member of your family. Or if you want to be a little bit more extreme, you can get up to a 1-year supply. But the point is you got to get prepared now. Now is the time to do it. It's a lot better to get prepared before an emergency than during or even afterwards.
Joe Rieck, Vice President of Marketing, My Patriot Supply. MyPatriotSupply.com is the website. Joe, we've got about a minute left. As far as what My Patriot Supply has on hand. When the proverbial S does hit the fan, how many meals are we talking about?
Well, in regards to what, if we can supply the food for everybody that needs it, or,
Yeah, or no,
supplying
just
the
me
food?
more importantly.
Oh, absolutely.
me.
You know, every family's going to be different.
Right.
You know, we recommend at a bare minimum, every member of your family needs to have at least a 3-month supply of food, because we know and we've seen throughout, you know, different events that it does take the government a very long time to mobilize, especially if a certain area has been hit by a hurricane or a power outage.
Yeah.
It takes time. So 3-month supply is what we recommend. Get your supply today. Right now, go to mypatriotsupply.com. If you don't know what to do, give us a call. That number is 866-229-0927.
Joe, always appreciate the time.
Thank you,
Everyone,
Joe.
get out there, get prepared. Did you learn something
I
today,
did,
Mary
and
Burt-Godwin?
it's on my to-do list.
And I
I'm
can
telling
see
you.
the anxiety on your face
Can you?
right now.
But you know, Joe has set me at ease a little bit. I'm calling him personally.
All right, more of the Big Business Show after this. In over 175 countries and all the ships at sea on the American Forces Radio Network, also the United States and Mexico and Bloomberg Financiero. About
The
to be
Armed
in
Forces Network?
Armed Forces Network, American Forces
Is
Network.
it American or Armed
They
Forces?
changed it to
Oh.
American Forces Network.
Look at me.
Listen, you know the rule during Nunya. When I am talking, you do not interrupt me.
I should know this. I was excited that you were here. I could interrupt because I can't do it when Sully.
She just totally threw off my chi. Ready?
Sorry.
Nailed it. Thank you.
Oh, that was so good.
The T. Earlier, I think I called it the Big Business Show as well. Not good.
Yeah, you're blaming it on me, but it's really just you, bro. Bruh.
He's the author of Future Proofing Your Business. He is one of the most sought after keynote speakers, not only here in these United States, but worldwide. TroyHazard.com is his website, Mr. Troy Hazard. Always great to speak with him on the Big Biz Show. Troy, my friend, how you been?
I'm good, mate. How you going?
We're great. You were just over in the EU for what are they called over there? Holiday?
Well, yeah. We had a extended holiday. We were gone for 2 months. So,
Oh my God!
Wow.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you were on vacation. This was obviously business.
No. Well, I did work for a couple of days, if that helps. mate.
2-month holiday. I love it.
Yeah, there you go.
Troy, we are at the. If you look at the calendar year in an American football game, we are basically at halftime. And I know for a lot of businesses, small and big, that's a good kind of pivot point or a point to pull back and assess and look at Q3 and Q4 for the rest of the year. Are there some things that business people, owners should be looking at as we head into the third and fourth quarters?
Yeah, it's a funny time of year because we kind of come to the halfway mark at about the same time we're heading on to summer break. And so it's a time for rest, but it really should be a time for reflection as much as it is for rest, because now's the best time for you to be looking at what the back half of the year looks like and changing or rearranging what you think you might need to get you across the finish line. Because to just keep doing what you've always been doing maybe might not get you there between here and the end of the year.
What are your tips, Troy, on assessing? What should people be doing when they're kind of looking at their annual plan, taking that assessment time? What are some of the tips you have for businesses?
Well, it's funny. The entrepreneur tends to want to tear everything down and start again. Oh, it's not working, so let's just go and pivot or do something that really drives everybody crazy and frankly frightens your clients, frightens your staff, and even frightens yourself as a leader. What I prefer to do is take a bit of a moment. I've got a really simple exercise that a lot of people use. It's not new, it's not mine, but I just sit down and write 3 lists. What should I start doing that I'm not? What should I stop doing that doesn't serve me anymore and is not working for me? And what could I continue to do that is kind of working? We're not quite got it right yet, but if we keep at it, we're likely to have it be part of the fabric of the business. that simple exercise for me really helps clear my head and gives me a chance to focus on the stuff that's important, not just the stuff that's right in front of you. Because over the year, as you go through the last 6 months, you've essentially probably got tired. And as you get tired, you forget stuff and you get into a routine and a rhythm that isn't necessarily going to serve you for the rest of the year.
He is the author of Future Proofing Your Business, a regular guest here on the Big Biz Show, Mr. Troy Hazard with us, troyhazard.com. Troy, explain to us what you mean by reality and rainbows, my two favorite ice cream flavors, by the way.
Well, they're probably a little bit similar. Most of the guys that I work with on boards over the years have really powerful, energetic, and enthusiastic CEOs that really want to just shoot for the rainbow. They're swinging for the fences. They're always at 100 miles an hour and looking to really achieve something that maybe is not achievable. So in lots of cases as a board member, my job is to try and match rainbows with reality. Here's the reality of the situation. Here's what we're doing as a business. Here's what's really achievable. I get your rainbows. I really want you to keep swinging for the fences. I want you to keep looking that far out with that sort of enthusiasm. But at exactly the same time, we don't want to set goals that we essentially know we can't hit because it just makes everybody feel a bit deflated about the rest of the year. So now's a great time to say, is it a rainbow or is it reality? Can we actually achieve that? And the intersection of those two things is where we need to be really focused.
So, Troy, you know, we're talking about relaxing and then reassessing and looking back on the first 2 quarters of the year, but also, is it not time to kind of go, oh, wait, Christmas is around the corner already?
Yeah. Don't say that.
I know, sorry, but it's true. It's already up, I think, in some places. And then also, you know, what about 2025? You know, when should CEOs and business owners start saying, okay, I need to start looking ahead already, so I'm ahead of the curve?
Well, it really needs to start now. But if you think about it, if you've had maybe a bad month in May and you're coming into June, you're going to be another 90 to maybe even 120 days before you recover from that month. So when you put that in perspective, if you're cruising along now and you're going into the summer break and business might slow down a little bit for you because of the holidays, what are you going to do when you come back out of that? Because when you get to October, if you've not got the thing back on track by then, you've only got 90 days to correct it before the end of the financial year. And if you've had a slump or something has maybe happened in the business where you've missed a mark, you've got 90 days to recover. So your real marker, your drop dead, has got to be around the 1st of October to know that you can fix the plan between there and the end of the year. Otherwise, you're likely going to miss it because you're a little bit slow to the party.
Troy, as we get older, you know, everybody says it, oh my God, I can't believe, Mary just mentioned it, Christmas just rolled back around, the years start to roll into another. How I guess, is that a dangerous pitfall that a lot of people fall victim to?
Yeah, it is, because what we forget is the decisions we make today are going to affect our 25 plan. So if you're thinking about what next year looks like, and if you're looking ahead that far, you've got to consider that the decisions you're making right now and for the next maybe 90 to 120 days will have a distinct impact on the outcome you seek from next year. So it's not just about making decisions and adjusting the plan to get you to the end of the year. It's also about the knock-on effect that's going to take you through 25. And if you haven't thought that through, then you might find yourself getting to the end of the year and hitting your mark for 24, but you've had an adverse effect on the plan for 25 because you've maybe taken something out of 25 that needed to live there, not here in this year, to prop your numbers up. So it's a bit of a balancing act. You've got to maybe have a plan that you know you can achieve to the end of the year, but be conscious of it.
How many people suffer too from that paralysis by analysis? And you talk about, hey, it's kind of halftime. Let's look at that plan for the rest of the year, and they're looking at it, and it's so overwhelming, they freeze in place.
Yeah.
Does it happen a lot?
Well, it does. I suspect not in your building, because I know how much Sully hates that. So
True.
I'd reckon it never happens at Loft 100. But
Sure.
for the average small business person, they do overthink themselves a little bit. They build 150-page business plans and refer to maybe 2 of those pages.
Oh.
I prefer to build a really simple plan. It sits on a single page. I know I'm going to refer to it because it's not too chunky, and I can keep it on my phone or my iPad or whatever. And it's got a handful of simple things I want to achieve for the year and into next year. And I know I can tick them off because I want to feel good about myself at the end of the year that I've done what I set out to do. But I also am conscious that I've got to keep my eye on it.
TroyHazard.com. The book is Future Proofing Your Business. Troy, always appreciate the time, my friend. We'll talk to you soon.
So yeah.
Oh man, to be able to take what he says and tells us each time,
Yeah.
and put it into action,
Yeah.
I would feel so much better.
Going
about
back
myself.
to
It is the Loft 100 Studios. It is the Big Biz Show. Costa standing in for Sully today as he makes his way through merry old England. Apparently he has a private audience with the King. Mary Burt-Godwin with us here at the desk, as is our good friend, Mr. Dan Negroni.
Friend of the show.
Keynote speaker, CEO, coach, consultant, chief launch officer. His company is Launchbox 360, website Launchbox.
Launchbox
365.
Actually,
Are you Launchbox
It's
360?
now dannegroni.com. I'm going
dannegroni.com.
all out, doubling down on the Dan.
I love it.
I love it.
Yeah.
You can never have too much Dan. You know how my dad played high school and college football, almost went pro. And when he was playing football, the coaching method was, no, water makes you weak. Here, take these salt pills.
Yeah.
We're going to run you till your legs bleed. Obviously, that is 180 from where we are now as far as coaching is concerned. In your world, though.
How do you feel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, in your world of coaching, what's new? What now is on the horizon that people are using to get the best out of other people?
I think it's a great question. I mean, I think obviously coaching is really doubling down on the individual.
Okay.
The newest stuff is like this bridging the gap between technology and people, right?
Okay.
We've all heard about AI.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything new or different. AI is taking over everything. And now they actually have AI coaching. There's this really cool company in Australia called Fingerprint for Success. They have this AI coach named Marley. And you can get in there and have your whole team in there and say, how do I ask for a raise? Who would be better at presenting this? How would I increase my presenting skills? If we were going to a meeting, Mike and I, who would be better at the pitch?
Whoa.
I mean, like every single question. Who would be better at project management, product management? It's unbelievable. Well, first of all, it has 25 years of data of coaching in it.
Okay.
But also each person takes an assessment.
That's what I was
So
going to
you
say.
do-
How does it know specifics to your business?
So you do this really cool online assessment that's as good, if not better, than a strength finder or a DISC assessment. You've heard of those things. And it actually layers everyone on top. So you can slice it and dice it for your whole company, for your whole team. And a person can then go in, a young person that may not have access to a $1,000 an hour coach.
Right.
Can go in and say, how would I deal with this? How would I learn more about this? How would I improve my leadership skills? How would I have a difficult conversation with this person in marketing that we've been conflicting with? It's unbelievable.
So they don't have to read the Crucial Conversation book. They just put it into Marley, and something spits out at them.
They put it into Marley, it spits out, and it's directed exactly at them and the other person they're talking to, instead of having a general book about crucial conversations.
Yeah.
I think read the book too.
Sure.
Yes.
Right? Like, let's not forget reading and
Yes.
learning and listening. However, imagine if you could, it's unbelievable.
So
Hi, Marley. Yeah, Mike from Southern California. How do I become the full-time host of the Big Biz Show?
Have Sully have an accident in London? I don't know. I'm just saying.
just saying.
No, we'll leave it there. Dan Negroni with us, dannegroni.com. Some of the things that we have talked about before, and the way you deal with people, and the Gen Zers, the millennials.
Yeah.
Do we often? I know that they're an easy target to pick on. Like if you see a kid doing something or someone of that age, like, oh God, Gen Z or millennial.
Right.
But do we oftentimes not give them the benefit of the doubt that they'll be able to perform what you want them to do?
Yeah. Leading the witness, I would say.
Pretty much.
For sure. I think it's really tough for them. Look how they're growing up. I have a lot of empathy for that group. How are they going to buy a house if they live in any of these areas like San Diego? How are they going to come to the world as we were able to come to the world and do really different things? And so they have all these challenges, even though life is easier with technology.
Right.
But dealing with technology is so crazy too. And all they want to do is learn and grow. And so while they may sometimes sound whiny, really what they're saying is teach me, help me, lead me. And we're saying we don't have time.
Because a lot of times our parents responded with, I walked to school uphill both ways.
Without shoes.
Without shoes.
In the snow.
In the snow.
Yeah.
And I was thankful that I was able to do that. And
now I have to watch TV without commercials. Yeah. And I couldn't fast forward.
But I found myself dealing with my son and younger kids.
Yeah, with commercials.
It's like, hey, old man, shut up. That's not their reality. It's not their paradigm.
Well, I think it's like growing up. Kids, I mean, my kid, I'm lucky I now have a 32, going to be 32-year-old. So it changes, right? It changes over time from my 23-year-old. However, I just think they're much smarter because they have access to more information, but they haven't become learned in experience. And that's our job, to help them. That's what Marley tries to do. That's what good coaches try to do, is how do we bring in people, make them better, and teach, and not complain about who they are or what they do. I mean, they're awesome.
Can I ask a question about Marley? Actually, diving into that a little bit.
Is it a yellow Labrador Retriever? I want to get that out of the way.
Marley is not.
It's the first thing I thought of, Marley and me.
Does a business pay or subscribe to this website?
Yeah. So there are lots of companies out there. I happen to think Marley does the best job. You pay online per person, and it's not a crazy price.
Okay.
And actually, an individual can go get it without their team or company. And I think it may even be freemium, like you can get it for free.
Right.
When you bring your team in and you start to get all the value, then you pay X dollars, but it's like not a ton of dollars.
But you can use it and say, how do I get a
cheaper
raise
than
without
lunch.
worrying that the boss is seeing what you're putting in.
Yes.
To, you know,
it's all protected. It's cheaper than a lunch.
Asking for a friend.
And I mean, these asking for what?
Yeah, asking for a friend.
Yeah. Oh, I'm asking for a friend. Yes. How would Mary get along with Mike? How would Mike take Sully's job? This is Dan asking, right? Just Dan asking.
DanNegroni.com for everything that Dan can help you with in your life. He can also help you find your why.
Yeah.
How tough is that to do?
Finding your why?
Yeah.
I think it's a pretty tough thing to do. It's not tough if you actually have the mindset to want to figure out who you are. And it's the first step in building relationships is the one with yourself. So figuring out a why is really, really critical. And you just got to go through the process, which is deep work and deep question asking and trying to figure out, who am I? And so it's easy to do. It's easy for companies to help people to do.
Sure.
And young people should do it. And we should be teaching it in junior high, in high school, in college, in graduate school, and we're not.
Is it as simple as what makes me tick? What am I interested in? What excites me?
I think it's what are my skills? What are my talents? What are my passions? What are my values?
And then how to.
And how can I focus them on connecting with other people?
And it can change, right? Because you know, maybe before kids, someone's why is XYZ, whatever it might be. But then after they have a family, it might change a little bit. Or do you think it's just always that?
I think generally your why, so it's about two things. Simon Sinek will tell you, or you can, read the psychology behind it. It's about your contribution and your impact. Generally, the way people want to contribute and impact over a lifetime stays in the same foundation as I'm an other-focused person. I want to make other people better, or I want to make a difference in the world to make life easier. I want to solve a challenge for seniors in the world because they've given us such value. I want to learn to grow children and make an impact that way. It's usually fundamental, like we're kind of born with it, but I think over time, as your interest changes, it can shift a little bit, and it kind of evolves itself, and you help evolve it at the same time. And it's about reading books and mentorships and who you work with and who you talk to and how you want to grow. I mean, it's serious business, though.
Yeah.
Because that's what people want in the workplace. We're so disconnected. They want purpose and meaning. They want their job to mean something. If they're going to work as hard as they are, it's not just about money anymore. As a matter of fact, the studies and the research will show you that it's much more important to do something meaningful than even for salary. Now, I'm not saying salary is not important to all of us.
Yeah.
But once that's met, it's about, now what? And COVID really flipped it on its side to really be able to have us want to create and make a difference for other humans. And the more tech that comes out, I think you're going to see the more people doubling down on wanting to really give back and create this people connection. We're just starving for connection. Whether you're CEO or whether you're the Gen Z or millennial or you're a kid asking you a dumb question. Oh, I didn't say that, did I? No, whoever you are, you really, I think humans want to help make other people better and empower them and give them stuff. It feels good.
Yeah, it totally feels good. He is a keynote speaker. He is a coach. He is a consultant. He is Dan Negroni with us here in studio. In the last 30 seconds we have, you get the feeling that people just feel beat down these days more so than they have been in the past.
I'll ask you guys. What do you think?
I absolutely. There is a negative malaise right now in this country, maybe worldwide, that I'm like, for many reasons,
layered, right?
Needs to go.
Yes, and we got to get together, be together, help one another, and stop with the nonsense.
When's the new book coming out?
Soon, I think.
I like soon.
Soon, yes.
Dan,
People activation.
Always appreciate the time, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Dan Negroni, check him out, dannegroni.com. More Big Biz after this. It is the Loft 100 Studios here in beautiful, sunny Southern California. Costa with you, standing in for Sully, literally. That beautiful lady there at the bar, Mary Burt-Godwin. And that wonderful music you hear in the background, the DTT, best in the business. Let's see if I can get this. Oh! Now, would you guys, James, would you say that I did that okay?
Close.
That was close.
It was warm. It was ish.
Well, see,
Or mid, as the kids would say, it was mid.
It was mid.
Yeah, you see, but they're making life choices, because if they were to say, "Man, you nailed it," or "You did it better than Sully's ever done it," then they would not be on stage next week. So I understand why they've got to kind of keep me in my place. But three of the best of the business, the DTT, with us as usual. Aside from the greatest staff behind the scenes here at the Loft 100 Studios who make all of this possible, and we always want to thank them for making this show go and keeping an idiot like me on track and speaking words coming out of my mouth like I just did.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Yep.
Pretty good. Pretty good, guys.
How was Vegas?
Oh, you know what?
Wait, you were there
2 days over the weekend.
And they say that 2 days is
perfect.
all you need.
So every summer I spend 9 days in Vegas for my daughter's dance nationals, and we hardly leave the hotel because it's so busy.
Okay.
But this time was a trip with my sister and my 2 daughters.
Right on.
4 of us went
All right.
for 2 days for fun. Kicked off, it was celebration for one of my daughters turned 16, and then we kicked off the summer.
Oh, very cool.
And my sister happens to love her some Vegas, and she happens to be kind of a
Like, is she a degenerate
regular
gambler, or?
She's a high roller at one of the hotels there. So she gets treated.
Excuse me.
I mean,
whoa.
It's legit.
Sorry, Liberace.
What the hotels do for their recurring customers that spend, a pretty penny.
It's called bringing them back in.
And you know what? It's not based on. So she gets all this free stuff, basically.
Give me an idea.
4
of free stuff.
Starbucks every day. Okay, the drinks, and then the food gets taken off her bill at the end if she puts it on the room. All of our meals were free.
Like
The
room
steakhouse-
service?
No, just like the food at Starbucks, we charge it to the room.
Charge it to.
It gets taken off. Her meals at all the restaurants, not all the restaurants, certain restaurants.
Okay.
Then she got comped Adele tickets. We had tickets to see Love, all comped, the Beatles Love, which is closing soon, by the way. So if you haven't seen it, go see it. Hurry, next weekend, go.
I've got to get there before it closes.
I am not that person. I can't put all. I mean, look, I don't spend the money on the prepping for doomsday, and I don't spend the money for gambling. It just gives me anxiety. I used to when I was younger, but now
there's a lot of people that $20 is $20, man, and I earn that. I'm not going to feed it to a machine and just watch it disappear.
Well, I loved it when it was $2 tables. I could play some blackjack for hours on $2 tables. And
You can still find $2 tables in Vegas, but you got to go way
deep
off the strip.
Like off the strip.
Like
deep.
Like people with fresh stitches in their head are still
and like
playing
a Tuesday at 3.
Yeah.
Not a weekend.
Right.
It's like not a high time, stitches in their head.
People who are in prison as recent as like that day.
Yeah.
That's who you find at those places.
That's the $2 table. So
Sure.
Hence I didn't find them. Hence I didn't gamble. But
all right.
I was in awe of how much things cost. Aside from that, like at Love, we got 2 things of popcorn and at M&M's it was like $50. I mean, it was crazy how expensive it is.
Well, when all of us were kids and our parents would go to Vegas, you still had the $1.99 prime rib dinner at some of the casinos where you got the cut, you got the potato, you got your vegetable salad, a roll, and like a soda. That is gone. Like now it's an $8.99.
Yes.
Prime rib dinner, and it's prime rib that's like the sole of your shoe. We're not talking.
It's not good.
Yeah, it's not good. I don't think there's any more deals to be had in Vegas because guess what? Vegas doesn't have to do that.
They don't have to do it
anymore.
It's so crowded.
Oh my God, there's no more $1.99 prime rib dinner. Well, I'm not going. No, they know we're going to go.
You don't even have fridges in your room, so you can't bring food to your room.
Or booze.
Actually, when I go for the 9 days,
that's not a concern of yours.
Yeah, I don't drink anymore, but when I go with my kids, I literally bring a freezer cooler. I bought this Mama Jamma cooler. So, and I bring a griddle and a microwave. I do it all in the room because I can't eat.
Hey, stop.
Did I just said Mama Jamma?
No. The fact that you're rolling in with a cooler and a griddle into a hotel.
I put the microwave into a bag. You should see the things I have to do.
It's great.
Setting up in the lobby.
I have a whole kitchen set up. I bring Reynolds wrap. I bring the whole thing. I will send you pictures of my kitchen.
No, you don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to.
No worries. You just believe me?
I got the vision.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much.
They actually don't. They say it's okay to bring that stuff in because they know we're living there for 9 days.
Okay. Well, listen. If you're going to camp inside the hotel, I thought you're just rolling in for a weekend.
No, this is when I'm there for 9 days with 2 children, and I can't afford.
You're cooking in the hotel room?
Yeah.
Is there like a vent and stuff? Or
I just do one of those air fryer thingies and put some frozen chicken nuggets on a plate and put it in.
Okay.
I also do have a griddle and I make grilled cheese. That one scares me because I'm afraid to set the alarm off.
Yeah. I'd be a little afraid too.
Yeah.
What about?
But I do it because I have to feed my children and I can't afford to spend
$50
to $100 a meal every day for 9 days.
That part I absolutely understand. What about you're walking down the strip and the kids like want one of those giant a yard of like frozen smoothie or something, like a special, hey, we went to Vegas treat.
I will do those for sure.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. We'll get gelato and we'll get some of the treats.
Yeah.
We won't get the frozen drinks because I think those are all loaded with booze.
I've never heard of that being the case in Las Vegas.
I wonder what they're going to do when they go back. They spend so much time
when they're 21?
Yeah. They're like, none of that interests me.
And that's in all honesty, that is one of the sad things about Las Vegas. And I go to Vegas 30 times a year, so I'm good. But it's the people you can spot and you know they're gambling away a mortgage payment, someone's education, maybe their wife's liver transplant or kidney transplant or something like that.
Yeah, there's a seedy side to the town that, so the 2 days that we were there, was plenty. And I've spent my days, I don't drink anymore, but I did do some damage.
But think about this too. I'm going to go to Vegas, but I'm a lucky guy. So I'm going to tell my wife, hey, honey, that money that we've been saving up for your kidney transplant, I'm taking it to Vegas and I'm putting it all on black. I feel lucky I'm bringing you home 2 kidneys when I get back.
Oh, God. And some prime rib. Side of prime rib.
All right, that is going to do it for this edition of the Big Biz Show for everybody here at the Loft 100 Studios. Of course, Mary Burt-Godwin, I'm Costa. Thanks for being with us. We will see you next time.